game against the Clippers in the second quarter with a knee sprain here. We see it, non-contact injury. MRI on Kyrie's knee came back negative, and he's now listed as day-to-day. When Kyrie went out, the Celtics, they were ahead by 28. Here's Marcus Morris about the loss following that huge letdown by the Celtics.
For me, it's not really about the loss, it's about the attitudes that we're playing with. Guys are hanging their heads. It's not fun, it's not fun. We're not competing at a high level. Even though we're winning, it's just not fun. I don't see the joy in the game. I watch all these other teams down in the league, guys up on the bench, they're jumping on the court, they're doing all the stuff that this look like they're enjoying, their teammates' success, they're enjoying everything, and they're playing together and they're playing to win. And when I look at us, I just see a bunch of individuals. No one's getting traded. Trade deadline's over. We compete for a championship, and that's how we got to approach these games. We're going to lose or draw, man. We're going to lose games, but we don't have no attitude. We don't have no toughness. We ain't having fun. It's going to be a long season.
Now, it should be noted that Marcus Morris also said that even when they were on their winning streak and they won 8 of 9 games, it still felt that way. Looking at where the Celtics are now, what they're dealing with, what do you make of his comments?
Well, one thing I thought about as I was listening, I think sometimes, not to change the team subject, but we have to have more appreciation for the way the Warriors enjoy doing what they do. It is hard to be successful and sustain it. So for the Celtics, as we flip back to them, last year there weren't the great expectations for success and making it to the finals and having a chance to win a title. They were playing with house money, and they looked that way. It was fun. It was enjoyable. It was light. And then you come back into a season in 18-19 where you and people outside of you expect you to win. And that is a more challenging proposition for young teams and veteran teams.
I think you hit it right on the head. I think the expectations were so high because they went to a 7th game in the conference finals last year. But when you dig deeper and you dissect what happened, they played a Philadelphia team in the second round that their 2 best players had never been in the postseason. And they were able to be physical and just wear them down. They played a Cleveland team that was not a finals-worthy team, okay? And they were able to force them to 7. But if you go look at all of those series that they played, we rate about how great Jason Tatum is, and his talent is supreme, but he was horrible on the road in the postseason last year. And so now you come back this year, and he's actually taken a little bit of a step further, but he's not at a point where I think he's good enough to be the second best player on a championship team. He's still a young, developing talent. And remember, Gordon Hayward, after that injury, he still hasn't gotten all the way back. So, and everybody else, nobody waited for him. Philly didn't wait for him. Toronto didn't wait, and Milwaukee didn't wait. So while they're, in essence, about the same as they were a year ago, those other teams have all gotten marginally better, and it's going to be a tremendous challenge for this Celtics team as presently constructed.
Yeah, clearly they were ahead by 28 when Kyrie Irving got hurt, and they ended up losing that game by 11. So much drama should make for an interesting players-only night on TNT. The new look 76ers will take on the Boston Celtics, 2 teams battling from home court advantage in the Eastern Conference playoff picture. That game starts at 8, followed by the red-hot Warriors and Jazz at 10:30. You don't have to wait until Tuesday to see the Warriors, though. They play right here on NBA TV tonight. We'll get you ready for the Warriors Heat. Next, you're watching Gametime. In the past 4 years, we'll play right here on NBA TV at 8:30 against the Miami Heat. The Warriors, well, they've been rolling. They've lost just 1 game since DeMarcus Cousins has come into the lineup. The offense, we got an expected boost, right? We kind of thought that would happen. The Warriors, though, also holding their opponents to 6 less points per game. We remember the slow start coming out of the gate. Looking back in December, we were focused on things off the court and turmoil within the team, and now we see them, Steph Curry healthy, Draymond Green healthy, and DeMarcus Cousins on the court. They look like the dominant team we expected them to be.
Yes, they do. And as good as he is offensively, I think what gets lost sometimes, the impact he can have on the defensive side of the floor. And that's when you look back over the course of the season, they've had their struggles. They just haven't been able to get stops consistently. And teams have improved throughout the league. And so now you bring him out there, and he's, again, a seamless transition because he's a high IQ guy. He can make all the plays, right? He can shoot it from 3, back to the basket, pass out a double team. He can make all the plays, give you rim protection. And so in a lot of ways, he's given everybody a breath of fresh air, and this is a team, and Derek can speak to this. Man, when you've gone to 4 consecutive finals, mentally is the issue. It's hard to get through that regular season with the same fire because they know in the back of their minds, this don't matter, especially after winning 73 and not winning it. They know it's all about us being healthy physically and mentally when the postseason starts. That's going to ultimately determine how we're viewed after the season. Nobody's going to remember this regular season, and they are priming themselves at the right time.
So break that down for us a little bit, what the Warriors might be going through as far as this group being together so long and making these postseason runs.
Yeah, as GA mentioned, mentally, sustaining the focus, the attention to detail, and the game plan on a nightly basis in the regular season when you've played into June 2, 3, 4 seasons in a row. It becomes more difficult to do that in January and February because it just doesn't compare to the intensity and the focus required to win a Game 4 in the NBA Finals. And that's what is in the back of your mind you're expecting to get back to. So that, to me, has been the biggest issue. That's where you see some of the defensive breakdowns that the Warriors had earlier in the season. That's where you see some of the careless turnovers, just mentally not really bringing it every night. But as All-Star break got closer, Boogie's back on the floor. They're starting to think about being at their best at the right time. You're starting to see that mental focus raising its level, and they're playing good basketball.
Warriors Heat, 8:30 right here on NBA TV. But early today, we already had the Luka show.
Are you convinced
Luka.
now, Chris? Are you convinced that Luka's pretty good?
I think he's incredible now. Yes, absolutely.
He's not bad. He's not bad.
Working out.
He had a solid game, especially in that first half.
Third quarter, 3-point game. Back come the Mavericks. Tim Hardaway Jr., former Knick, traded at the deadline with Kristaps Porzingis. We got a tied game at 67. Oh, Damian Lillard. We know, we've heard it before. We call this show Game Time, but in the second half sometimes it becomes Game Time. Absolutely right. 14-point lead. That's significant because the Mavericks down by 14 in the fourth. Oh, yeah. It becomes the Luka show. Luka Doncic takes over.
And remember, he's 19.
And won.
He's 19, man, and really has already established himself as one of the premier players in our league.
But Portland not done yet. That's McCollum pulling up, making it a 1-point game. Luka misses. One more chance for Portland. Damian Lillard. Oh! No contact there, GA? Non-call?
I thought he went vertical on that one. I mean, Dame did a hell of a job selling it, but the officials weren't buying.
Yeah, no, I agree. Good verticality there. Strong finish by the Mavs.
An extremely strong finish. They outscored Portland 24-9 in the fourth quarter. Luka Doncic scored 13 in the fourth. Here he is following the comeback victory.
The legend continues. Another dazzling trip inside the Lukaverse. I want to hear what you're thinking in that fourth quarter. The crowd was electric. What was going on in your mind during those final possessions?
I mean, I think we were kind of lucky. Maxey had some big plays on defense. I should have made those 2 shots for sure. I'm pissed about it, but I'm glad we got a win.
Tim Hardaway Jr. came over in the trade. I'd like to hear your thoughts on his contributions, not only since he's been here, but especially today. He lit it up.
Yeah, I mean, he's a great guy, great shooter. He can do a lot of things, so he helped us a lot, not just on attack, helped us on defense too, so I'm glad we have him.
Are you feeling more of a need? I mean, you've been rebounding all year long, but is it more intense now that you guys lost DeAndre, who was a big defensive rebounder? Are you taking more of that burden?
Yeah, probably, because we don't have Maxey's, especially, I mean, he's a 4, we have not a big lineup, but we box out and we get the rebound, everybody.
You can see Luka Doncic live against your reigning MVP on Game Night Monday right here on NBA TV. Game starts at 8. Auto Trader pregame show gets the festivities started at 7:30. More Game Time after this short break.
Black History Month is a time for honest conversations and taking action. So let's talk.
African American men are twice as likely to die from prostate cancer.
But when caught and treated early, it has a survival rate of over 90%.
So talk to your doctor about getting screened.
And learn more about prostate cancer prevention at hawks.com/PCF.
Throughout the month of February, the Atlanta Hawks Foundation will donate $250